Hey and welcome. I got to make that a little more seamless next go round. What if I could add the countdown to my little intro thing that I just added there for you guys? It's probably just going to be me, myself, and I tonight, but that is fine. Anybody that comes through on the replay, just let your girl know. Start my banner up real quick because I really should be in the bed at this point, but here I am. I got the day right this week, but we have to work on the time. Hopefully by next week, episode 3, I will have everything together. Yeah. I ain't even going to get into it, y'all. I feel like, hold on, I'm just trying to pull up my little not graphics, my slide, and I think I changed it and updated it. So I just want to bring it up. So I'm doing that now. Like I said, I got the day right, but now I have to work at the time because it's really supposed to be like 8:30, 8:45 at the latest. I moved it back and then again, I moved it to 9:30 and now it's after 10. I moved it to 10 a little while ago and still didn't make that target, but I digress. Someone was here and then they left, so I guess I might get started. Let's get the energy up. I did have me a little coffee on my K-cup. So I can give you guys a good recap for that replay. We are here for Summer House Martha's Vineyard. Bloop, 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 bloop. I hope you guys can hear me. Hold on 1 second. I just want to hear what the mic sounds like. So I'm going to mute you guys real quick. Okay, I think I'm okay. I'm back, you guys. I just want to make sure the volume was okay. Summer's House, Martha's Vineyard, Season 2, Episode 2, Jealousy, Jobs, and Judgment. And I did the notes this time on here. So let's see how this is going to go. I need a little stand because if I can, my microphone is stand, this little microphone. If I can have a little stand, this might kind of go better. But you know what? I'm going to do the best that I can. Which photo of these good people do I want to put up here? I thought I added it to the stage. I got this lovely one. You know what? Let's do this one and take that away. I'm sorry to be getting this together on line. Like I said, your girl is real and raw when I come up here and you get all the steps. And for those of you that don't like that, I apologize. I really do. So we are starting the episode where we left off. It is day 2 of 15 at the vineyard, and the crew is still partying it up on the boat. They wrap things up and they are headed back to the house in this thing is big in the car, and they're discussing what's next. So they're going to have some type of little party that night. In the confessional, Jordan is saying she and Jasmine talked about the issues that have built over the years and that they both have agreed to disagree and build from there. Hallelujah. So tonight is turn up, and turn up some more. And I love to hear it because, as you know, your girl says on these reality shows, the one thing that I cannot stand is to see people have the same arguments over and over and over again. Hey, girl. Yeah, I didn't want to, even though I moved the time, I did not want to cancel. I'm like, let me stick to Wednesday. The notes was done. So here I am. Thanks for popping through. I got my coffee. I'm gonna bust it out and move on with life. I got the day right now. Next week I gotta do better with getting the time right. But yeah, I hate to have the same argument over and over and over again. So we're moving past that. In the car that Shanice and Preston and Alex and Noelle are in, Shanice is talking about the last time she had some. They were all kind of having that conversation and how much she loves the D. And Preston loves that for her because, hey, he says he loves the D too. So Summer and Bria are talking, and Bria says that she hasn't seen Simon in a month. And this is now they're inside. Well, everybody's inside. They're kind of on the back on the lounge chairs, kicking it, just shooting the shit as they like to do. She hasn't seen Simon in a month, and he's headed to the Vineyard on Friday. But she says that they're in a better place. So they give us a flashback to that scene of her bothering that man about watching poor Milo, and the disaster that was last season with Simon. So in the confessional or the truth booth, I have to get used to saying that. On this show, it's the truth booth. She says she lived with Simon in Germany for a year, but she had to return to New York. Hey, Tamika. Hey, hey. And I said, not in the middle of them talking, does Summer say that Jasmine is pregnant? And this is where we're going to start to see that Summer is a little bit of a hater. You know, she got a little hateration, holleration, her dancery. And Bria said that, you know, she knew it, but if it's true, she knew it. And that's typically what happens when men are about to deploy. They get their woman pregnant before they leave. I'm like, well, at least she's a wife and not a girlfriend. So there's that. And I think I do have her beautiful pregnancy picture. I love this picture, or that's one of the pictures that I love. So most of the group, they're headed out to the pool. And I'm like, I guess they do have a pool, because I think in episode 1 I said they didn't have a pool. So I don't know how they messed that, how I missed that, but they got a pool. Amir asked Preston how he's doing there in the kitchen. Everybody's out in the pool. Amir and Preston are in the kitchen kind of talking. He's asking, you know, how you're doing, like honestly, sincerely, because remember, Preston lost his dad. So he said he doesn't know how to feel. And when he first found out, he actually wasn't sad. He kind of took it as like, you know, just part of life. So in the truth booth, he says that he thinks he made the right decision, not going to his father's funeral. Most of the time, his father wasn't even there. And even when they reconnected, and he would say he was gay, his father would say, well, he didn't raise his kid to be gay. To which Preston said, you didn't raise me at all. And I hate that. I absolutely hate that for him. And kudos to him for making his something out of himself, because I know all kids who kind of go through that. I won't say that there's one thing that they worry about, but it's tough. Sorry, I gotta work on the ums. So he tells Amir. I have to try and say his name right. I have to think of what, because my nephew's name is Amir, so I want to say that all the time, but he's Amir. Tells him that he's telling Amir that he didn't care anymore, and after him passing, now this is in the truth booth, back and forth and forth and back. He doesn't feel the burden of the relationship that he mourned so long ago. I hope my good guy Preston is getting some therapy, because he has a lot to contend with as far as his father is concerned. But I know they do say that is a weight off your shoulder when somebody passes, because then you don't even have to, like, it's the final chapter, if you will. Amir says that he thinks that parents just tell themselves, oh, just told you I was going on live. Hold on a second, guys. I didn't know. And I gotta get you a new charger. My bad. Amir says that he thinks that parents tell themselves that they did the best that they could, kind of like as an easy out. Some of the old school parents definitely do. And Preston says, well, if that's the best you can do, well, don't have any more kids. Now, he did say he has a sister, so I wonder, is the sister older? Maybe the sister's older. Because I hope he didn't have any more kids after Preston and have the same problem. And I had some other questions, but we're gonna left it alone. So Nick is laying in the bed. He's a little hungover. He is looking tipsy boots. And the group is downstairs, kind of like taking turns making fun of his antics when he's drunk, like the way he laughs and all the little stuff he be doing. So he finally gets himself up, and then he and Alex and Amir talk about the conversation that Alex had with Summer. Alex says he thinks that the two of them have two different expectations. You think? Hearing these two talk about each other makes me very uncomfortable. Although, let me stop there, because what Summer gave us this episode girl. So Alex says that he has been open about where they are at. When they left the house, he said he was open to an opportunity to get to know her more, but there were also things early on that made him feel like this ain't it. So he says the photo that she took was the first day that they hung out, the one that she sent to Jordan that we heard about in episode 1. I was like, girl, not the first day. So in the confessional, Truth Booth, Alex says that after dating a few times with Summer, he was turned off and felt like he couldn't trust her. Yikes. But again, in this episode, we see that he's not wrong. The photo thing he feels like was kind of creepy. And he said if he was thinking with the right head, he would have seen all of the red flags. So Amir asked if they're on the same page, and I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I think so. Yeah, with the way Summer is, probably not. But at least you said your piece, and hopefully we can move on." We didn't hear too much about it this episode, so I'm hoping that's all done. Although I don't know, we talked about it some. I hope we moved on from it. I don't like to beat a dead horse. So I said, baby, did Nick, because Nick is that guy. Nick just be saying stuff. He doesn't even care. I'm like, did he ask him if he's going to rebeat? Child, we got to get the definition of rebeat. It was a lie. And I was like, oh, if he know, like I know, that better not even be an option. So everybody is getting ready for the evening event. We see everybody getting dressed up. And Noelle says that she was really shy growing up as a kid, but one of the ways that she was able to embrace who she was getting dressed up. They show us different pictures of her different, costumes or cosplay, as they like to call it when you get older. And then it's time for Groovy Decade Night. So they have to stand in front of everybody and tell what decade and what was inspiration. And then they're going to judge everybody at the end. So Jasmine is a 1950s housewife. And again, Amir's sentiment with this one was mine. He's like, I thought the theme of tonight was to dress somebody that wasn't yourself. They got to give us a flashback to her. I'm a housewife. I'm a housewife. A desperate housewife. She was definitely dressed as herself. Preston's decade is the 90s, inspired by the movie Juice. I like Preston. I guess. Shanice in the confessional says she doesn't remember Juice, and I want her black card immediately. Summer's decade is the 1970s, and her inspiration is a flower child. Like, she's groovy with it. Nick says he is also 1970s, and he is giving us Arthur Ashe. And I said, are you really, Nick? It's a little bit of a cop-out. So it's crickets from the group. But I get annoyed because then they got to go Google who Arthur Ashe is. I said, baby, are you serious? What happened to all the black excellence in this household? Yikes. And I think Bria was the one that looked him up and was like, oh, he do kind of look like Nick. I mean, and he does, but how y'all don't know who Arthur Ashe is? Like, that's one of our first. You don't know your first black athletes? Okay, great. So Shanice says, like, she's giving basic. And somebody was like, oh, I think it was Jasmine. Oh, like black exploitation. She's like, it's giving ass. I'm like, oh, Shanice, girl. But Shanice, from the time she got there, she was in her bathing suit. She was giving us party girls. She was giving us girls just want to have fun. So it is what it is. And then I said, no, Bria's saying it's giving working girl. And also, not Shanice not knowing what a working girl what a working girl is. Never seen Pretty Woman or just never heard that word before. I said, oh, okay. Bria's decade is 2000, and she says her inspiration was Jenny from the Block. And I was like, really, Bria? Really? So she does a little rapping, and in the Truth Booth, she shares that she was in a girl group back in the day, but says she has no rhythm. I have questions. Yeah. Amir says specifically it's 2010 and his inspiration is Nick. Child, he do look like Nick. Then it's time to start giving their favorites. Preston's is Summer. Jordan says Preston. Shanice also says Preston. What? Really, y'all? Nick says Amir, obviously. Bria says Jordan, and Summer says Bria. Jasmine says Jordan. Amir says Preston, and Nick says Amir. And the consensus is Preston won. Again, I did not see it. You guys can get down in the comments and let me know who was your favorite. I was confusion. Personally, I like Jordan's. I like Jordan. I like Summer. Those are like my top two. What you saying, Shayna? I mean, that's a good question. What did she do and where did she go to school? Because I feel like, yeah, I'm gonna let it go. Okay, Jordan was your favorite too. That's what I thought. And I'm like, she's giving me. And then the outfit, but they were like Preston. I'm like, okay, oh, Preston was your second. I like Summer. Preston didn't, I guess. Um, So now it's time to change and go to the hot tub. But they change, and first they sit down and they decide they're going to play Spill the Tea. And I already knew this was going to go badly before we got into anything. So Amir's question is, who's the worst dressed in the group? Now, at this point, Shanice has gone into the kitchen because I forgot. Oh, hers was, I guess, shots. Everybody was kind of BS and saying they was going to have their drink. They wasn't going to do shots. She was like, I'm going to go in this kitchen and get these shots. So she's getting shots, and Summer whispers, and she's like, Shanice. You could tell she didn't really, well, at least initially seemed like she didn't really want to say it. And I was like, this is not gonna go so well. So she's like, no, I love her. Like, she's not a bad person. And then Preston is trying to clean it up and say, like, oh, we have to pick the worst of the best. I was like, is that what we're going with? Okay. In the confessional, Noelle finds it Shady Boots. It is. And then Shanice comes back in the room and says, y'all voted me worst dress, and did, boo, and definitely did. And Summer's like, yes. And then she kind of goes with what Preston said. I had to pick the worst of the best. And she was like, who, me? What? I'm the realest one in here because all y'all were fake-ish. Baby, not them admitting. Preston was like, yeah, well, I'll be dressed nice, but my ish be fake. I think Summer also said her ish was fake. I was like, okay. And then she walks away and she's angry, and you could tell her feelings are hurt. And I was like, oh, she's gonna cry in the car. And that she did. She went up into her room, into the bathroom, and had her cry. And when I found out why, it was hard side eye for Summer. I'm gonna get you in a minute, sir. Yeah, she had a cute little 70s thing. And who else? Oh, Noelle. Noelle's was cute too. Those were like my top three. And we'll throw Preston in there for the men. Although I thought Amir being Nick was funny. I'm like, did you ask to borrow his hat too, sir? So they're talking about it, and Preston's like, he kind of feels bad. First, they're joking around. And then they start talking about it. He's like, he kind of feels bad about the situation. So Bria gets up and goes to check on Shanice, who, like I said, in the room crying in the bathroom. Summer said, Shanice was like, it was Summer that said it, right? Because she's a stupid bee. I was like, whoa, what is going on? But then when we got a little further, I'm like, oh, she really is a stupid bee. So she cries to Bria, and she says that she doesn't have any money. She doesn't have a job. And I was like, oh, baby, that hurt my heart. I was like, and like, kudos to her for being that transparent, because she knows it's on TV. She knows that they're mic'd up. Like, you're in the bathroom, but you're mic'd up. That like the mic is hot. The mic is hot. So kudos for her to even be able to be that vulnerable with Bria. It just was sad. So Bria's trying to console her, and in the confessional, Shanice reveals that her job transferred her from Phoenix to Tampa and then basically fired her. I was like, that's cold. And also, what is it that you do? So she said the trip was pre-planned, so here she is, but she can't do certain things. And Summer knows it. So yeah, wow. Now I watched this after everybody else did, so I was seeing the little tweets and everything. Everybody was saying Summer was trash, and I'm like, now I see. I thought for some reason it was gonna have something to do with the her and Alex thing, and I was gonna stand beside her, but this I will not. Like, you don't do your friend like that. And then Bria's like, oh, well, she doesn't dress nice either. I was like, I mean, okay, but Jesus. At this point, you think they would have stopped playing the game, but they still downstairs and they still going. And it kind of aggravated my nerves. And I think it bothered Shanice because she talked about it later on. I know I don't have that in my notes, but I do remember she mentioned that she was upset that Summer never even came upstairs to check on her. She didn't, and neither did anybody else. So kudos to Bria's old annoying ass for being a real one and checking on her girl. So the next one is, how attractive do you think you are? Noelle says, oh, she's a 10, baby. So Summer asks where Bria is, and Jasmine's like, oh, I think, she's checking on Shanice. So Summer asks, are her feelings hurt? Ma'am, even not knowing what you know, which we already know now that you know what you know, like, would your feelings not? Girl, please. Um, she says she doesn't think it was that deep. People who are hurt other people's feelings always think it's not that deep. I was like, oh, Summer. So Preston thinks, like, maybe she doesn't realize it was a game and that was a question, and she thinks that, you were just saying that about her. Even with it being a game and her knowing what she knew, she should have said anybody but that. You should have picked the best dress and then went with that shit, because then that would just be absurd, but whatever. So Bria tells Shanice that, you should say something to her. And then Noelle comes in and she's like, you should go downstairs, even though that's Summer's homegirl. She's like, you should go downstairs, else they won. And I'm like, I'm liking the girl power. I'm really, really liking the girl power. So in her confessional, she said she's starting to see that Summer's a little shady. So I don't know if Noelle, between this and the end of the episode, if Noelle and Summer's relationship is going to hold up past this season here. So downstairs, they still playing this game. Jasmine gets the question is, what sexual activity is off limits? She's like, is anything off limits? Girl, we know, because you was rumping and bumping and ooh, somebody rocking knocking the boots last season with your man, and nobody went to hear that because ew. Like, I think I'm supposed to be on the show, but I'd have been like, y'all gotta get me someplace where they has some noise reduction or something, so we can till the cops come knocking. So now Shanice, she comes back downstairs and Summer apologizes and tells her that it was part of the game, and she's giving her a hug, which I was like, okay. And Shanice is like, yeah, I know, girl, but still. So in the truth booth, Noelle is Noelle and Summer doubles down. She's saying, oh, all I see her in is a t-shirt and shorts. And I was like, girl, was you drinking? Because the truth serum is truth serum. And I was like, Summer, girl, please be for real. Like, how much of a bitch can you be? Damn. She says they're a beautiful group and no one dresses bad. How do you go from here to there? Because no, no, no. So then they just decide to turn on the music and shake something, and the music takes Shanice's mind off of it. And Shanice is a better girl than me, because I still would have been tight. But I digress. While all this is going on, Amir texts his girlfriend and he says something like, what should I eat? So that makes her be like, did you mean to send that to somebody else? Because what the hell does that have to do with the price of tea in China? So I was like, oh, this is not about to go well. So he goes in another room and gives her a call. And she's trying to tell him, like, it didn't really have any place in the conversation as to what we were talking about. So that's why she asked the question. And he's like, it sounds accusatory. Sir, do you have anything to confess? So then he starts to run in his mouth about what's going on in the house. He's asking if she asked, is he okay? And he says, no, this is not his style. Sir, it was your style last season. Okay. He's like, all the girls are down there dancing, basically shaking ass. I don't know if he said that to her or not, but he's like, all the girls are downstairs dancing, and he just basically is not with it. And he throws Nick under the bus for looking. I was like, sir, is he wrong? Absolutely, yes. He's also on camera, so we got him. You didn't need to share that with your girlfriend, but we see what time you are on. Hey, Harold. Hey, thank you for coming through. I was like, I'm just going to hop on here and talk to myself if need, if need be, so I can get this thing done, and then we'll get the time right next week. Finish up my little coffee. So my whole thought was, Amir, homeboy, seriously, if you were going to be like this, you either should have stayed home or brought your girlfriend with you the whole time. If that was an option, because I don't know if that was our option, but I was like, either way, this is not it. It's making me give my boy Amir the side eye. So it's like 2:30 in the morning. He's in the bed and everyone's kind of winding it down, or so I thought. And I'm like, did they even ever get in the hot tub? If they did, they didn't show us. They kind of, show us random people in random rooms doing random things. So on day 3 of 15, we kind of find out, as everybody makes their way downstairs into the kitchen, that some folks went to bed at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. I was like, "Ooh, child!" Now it's 10 o'clock, so it's a good 7 hours. Shanice said she was sending news this morning up in the room to the dudes on her roster, because we're seeing kind of everybody in their room doing whatever before they came down. So Noelle and Nick are playing chess, and we find out that she goes to Washington Square Park here in New York to play. Prior to that, we saw Nick on the phone with his girlfriend Tasia. And Preston was checking in with his boo, who apparently is coming next week. I was like, oh, Preston's boo thing gets to come. I was happy about that. I want to see what he's like, because we love Preston. So I got to check Daniel out and see what Daniel got going on. So Jordan calls her dad, and she says that she's getting a hair deal, and it's wigs and extensions, and she's going to, educate the consumers, and she'll be coming from the perspective of alopecia and hair loss. I was like, that's really, really great of her to share. Your girl, and I'm a little woman of a certain age, so therapy, or sharing is caring. Like, this is not therapy, but sharing different parts of your life. I'm always into that when you've gone through something in triumph. I think that's really, really cool of her to share. So in the truth booth, she's saying it's hereditary, and she breaks down exactly what alopecia is. And she said when she was doing a shoot, she had to get a relaxer, and it fully took her hair out. And I'm like, girl, memories. Says it hasn't grown back quite the same, and she recently had a bad outbreak. Now, my hair used to be really, really thick, 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 thick. My mom was putting relaxer in my hair from time I was a little bit older than my youngest son. He's 8, so I was maybe around 9, 10-ish, just to make my hair more manageable, because that's what they say. And she damaged my hair a little bit. It had to end up going to where she had to end up taking me, because I was a kid, to somebody to get everything together. And that lady ended up being my beautician for many, many, many years, her and then her daughter. And then when I went natural, she was the one who initially cut it and everything. And then I kind of been taking it from here on my own. But yeah, just as Black women, I think we all know a little bit of that relaxer journey. So I kind of like that, she shared that, and alopecia. And because a lot of us, we could be a little vain. So that's very vulnerable to get, and actually showing pictures and everything like that. So I was really, really, really happy about that. So some of the crew hops in the car to go off to brunch. Jordan says that Nick was on her body in the car, because it's Jordan, Preston, and Summer go to brunch. Summer says he was on hers too, and Preston's like, he gets a little handsy when he starts to drinking, and he doesn't think that Tasia would appreciate it. Preston says that he feels like Nick wants to break up with the girlfriend. I was like, damn, really? Like, okay, y'all telling all the man's business. And Summer agrees. I said, girl, please stop. Are you that close with these people? And you down real bad this episode, Summer. So you need to sit there and not really say nothing. Like, if we're not talking to you directly, I need you to zip the lips. Okay. So Jordan's like, she doesn't know if he's happy in a relationship. And in a truth proof, Preston is saying, like, they need to nip this whole thing in the bud. Y'all doing a lot. I mean, I guess y'all are a friend group. So if you cannot be honest with your friends, then are we really friends? So I get that, but it just feels like it's a lot because it's on camera. But they're friends. I think they're all real friends. And we all definitely remember Nick from last year, and they're giving us a few flashbacks because nobody even knew Nick had a girlfriend last season until she popped up. And some of them had to go and tell me, I'm like, we didn't even know anything about you. But I was like, mm. Look, ma'am was beautiful, and ma'am did not seem to have a problem with it. She knows who she's dating. And that's kind of what he says later, too. So Amir goes to work out, and it's Bria, Shanice, Nick, Noelle, I think that's her, and Jasmine. I thought most of the people I would have gone for the brunch. I'm a little fatty. I like to eat fatty foodie, whatever you want to call it. I would have been over at the brunch spot. The working out was cute. Probably should have been at the workout spot, but I'd have been at the brunch spot. So Amir says gym is life, which we can see because the body is always definitely bodying. We just see them working out. It's no big deal. Bria shares with us that she used to compete in gymnastics growing up, but it kind of got in the way of the school. So eventually she had to quit. Um, Shanice is saying in the truth proof that working out has helped her through some things. The whole stalking situation with the ex-boyfriend, which didn't he have something to do with Insecure or one of them? Or I think they linked him to it, and he never actually was like, I mean, actor. I digress. But with that situation, with losing her job, I was like, okay, well, kudos to you because and they say it is. I gotta get into it. It's not really my thing. Like I want to do it because I'm not really trying to lose any more weight. I'm like, I'm good where I'm at, but I want to tone everything up. Give me a little Angela Bassett arms, not be like Dr. What's the name that used to be married to Dr. Contacta. Oh Lord. Okay, but me could not be me. She looks amazing. Could not be me. Yes, girl. I would have been right there at brunch with you. Like, let me get the yeah, the and that too. Yep, bring it all on over, and let me try to that too. Yes, Nick does move like a single man. A relationship, I don't think it's because he doesn't want necessarily. I don't think it's because he doesn't necessarily. I still read that wrong. Want to be in a relationship with Tasia, but more so to keep up appearance. Yeah. Yeah, him and Alex got the same vibe, but he's more out like Alex should be the one that's more out there since he's the single one than Nick is, because we definitely was like, I mean, we thought that he was gonna say he was with the community, but him to say he had a girlfriend, I didn't know what the man was gonna say, but that was not it. Yeah, I don't think that it's not that he's not into her, and maybe he just I don't know. I don't know. Mm-mm. He said that she understands him and who he is. So maybe he's just a flirt. Because some people are like, they say they're a people person and they like to talk to everybody and they like to flirt. And some people are like touchy feely, like don't touch me. Okay. But some people are like that. So I'm like, all right, I digress. The brunch group and the gym group both are talking about Summer's comment the night before. Shanice feels like she's jealous at this point because she said when she was in Jamaica that she felt like she was a little jealous because she be pulling all the top tier men. I was like, okay, girl, I guess. I mean, you like it, I love it. If that's what you want to say, I can't say whether you're right or wrong. And she says that she and Summer don't have that jokey relationship, and we kind of go over to the Love and Marriage DC. Yeah, if we not like that, don't play with me. Don't play with me, don't joke with me, because I'm not the one, the two, or the three. So I got her with that one. And I think that's exactly what she said. Girl, I think that's exactly what she should go and say to Summer. Summer girl, we even play like that. So don't do me, okay? Don't come for me unless I send for you. So at brunch, Summer is sharing that she feels like Shanice is a little bottled up and does not share her emotions. She's going for a breakup, a stalking, and now she's lost her job. So that's a lot to deal with. That's therapy. If the gym works, by all means, whatever she needs to get through, but you know, I hope she works through it. I totally get it. So now first Preston is asking if they're dating. And Summer says she is. And then he asks, how's Alex in bed? Okay, Preston, we'll get into it if you're gonna get into it. Um, and at first she acted like she don't really want to say nothing. And I was wondering, and she's like, oh, he's fun. He's a good cuddler and a great kisser. Baby, that means he ain't doing what he's supposed to have done, because if that's what you have to say. Because if it was good, you'd be like, it's for me to know, for you to find out, okay? We're not, spilling the tea. We're not kissing and telling. So then they're giving us a flashback of last year before she got the D, of her saying that she likes to make love and that she thinks that Alex will be great in lovemaking. And fast forward to present time after the D, where she's saying, it's just not as passionate as she would have hoped for. And I was like, yikes. Production asked Alex the same question, like how she was. He's like, you're gonna answer that. And I was like, ooh, what does that mean? Are you both saying that each other was bad? Because she's saying that she was a couple of strokes, like two pump chump. Like, it was not giving that, it was just the stroke was long and strong. But yeah, yeah, yeah. On the flip side of that, her actions toward Alex leads me to believe that Summer is from. I hope so, because if you that mad over some tragedy, yikes, girl, because you had to let everybody know he had been inside of you. So yes, perhaps maybe she is fronting, but I mean, y'all came to an agreement. Be cute, be coy, your girl's not gonna kiss and tell. You're being a hater. Like I said earlier, it's very much, hey, giving hateration and toleration in the dancery. Jealousy, jobs, and judgment is definitely the title of the episode. So over at the gym, apparently Noelle was too busy cracking at crabs and miss Summer's comment about the being inside her. Boo! They give us a flashback. I'm like, damn, I'll be into my food, but how you I'll be missing some things, but that's a lot to miss, especially when you was sitting right there, like right there, right there. But okay. So in the truth booth, she says that before she came on vacation, she said she told Summer she was interested in Alex. Um, and she asked Summer what was up, and Summer's basically like, "Girl, it's cool. Like, have at it." She said that they kind of, I don't even think she said messed around, hung out, talked. I can't remember the exact words, and it don't even matter. So I was like, Summer girl, wrong road, wrong road. Please do not go there. Proceed with caution. So she's a little annoyed that she didn't keep it real with her. Now I'm like, now Summer, girl, be for real. So in the confessional, she acts like she was not checking for Alex in the situationship. And girl, we do not believe you. She tells them that they came to understanding and apologize, and that's it. She says that Noelle is free to explore Alex. Well, actually, she says Nick first and then corrects herself, and we was all like, what's really going on? What's really going on here? What you mean? What you mean, Nick? Don't get Nick in no more trouble than he needs to be, okay? The reason I say that, a little bit of foreshadowing here, I believe Summer is about to fall out with Noelle over Alex, so the to be her fifis. Yeah. But maybe she wasn't that good, because the way he said he didn't want to get into it. But yeah, you're probably right, because like I said, if it wasn't that good, then yeah, we should not be getting upset over that man. So everyone makes it back to the house. Summer and Noelle, they kind of go off and they're having a conversation in the room about Alex. Noelle says that she didn't know that they had actually did the deed. She's like, I thought that y'all had like tried and like y'all was about to, but y'all ain't, do what needed to be done. And she asked her to give her the rundown. So Summer's like, it was convenient. Summer be front and I call BS. So Noelle was like, don't do that. In the confessional, truth booth, she says that she made it clear. Oh, Summer says she made it clear that they hung out and that she did not owe it to her to tell her exactly what they did, especially when she did not know him. Girl, are you in love? Are you in love? Okay. So Alex, they down, the guys are down there and they're talking. He's like, yeah, the girls was checking for Amir, his triceps, biceps, and all those muscles. And how do you think Natalie would feel about it? And he's like, I don't really want to give her the deep details of what's going on, like as far as the girls twerking, because she wouldn't like that. And Nick is like, why don't you do what I do and just sit there? Preston is like, is that what you think you do? Is that what you think you're giving? Do you? Uh-huh. Oh, okay. I love Preston. Preston, not with the bullshit. He be very, very direct. He's like, we're not going to beat around the bush. What we're not going to do is beat around the bush. You didn't notice that you get a little handsy? And at first he's like, I didn't touch it. Preston's about to get up. He was like, ooh, okay, all right now. And clearly he don't remember. And Preston was highly irritated. Or let me not say highly irritated. He was irritated. So they're having a conversation with him, kind of telling him just to be mindful of what you're doing because the ladies are expressing their concern, if you will. In the confessional, he says he's a little confused about how Jordan and Summer feel and feels like they could have just talked to him. I wouldn't even say when it's just men and women. I think all people should be mindful of being handsy with anybody, no matter what your sexuality is. Because some people outside of the sexuality thing just don't like to be touched. Ooh, I made it almost with a whole video without my nose going crazy. And now here we go. Some people just don't like to be touched. So let's respect physical boundaries. We ain't even talking about the other kind of boundaries, but let's respect physical boundaries and let's just not touch people. How about that? So we are wrapping this thing up. He goes into the room. Summer's in the bed. And not Summer. Oh, was Summer in bed? Summer's in the bed. Jordan's in the bed. And he asks the ladies if he makes them uncomfortable. And Jordan, from under the covers, because we can't even hardly see her, responds, you do get a little handsy. And that is where the episode ends. Baby, I barely paid any attention to those previews except when we got to the very, very end. I was like, did I hear them say that Phil and Mariah are coming back? And I was like, yeah, okay, I'm curious to see how this happens. Ooh, and how this goes, because it sounded like Jasmine was not with Phil coming back. I wanted Mariah to come back because I felt like she didn't get a fair shake. Hopefully that doesn't go to the left. Other than that, I didn't really listen to what's going on or quite clear if that's going to happen in episode 3 or maybe that's going to be at the end of episode 3 going into episode 4. But we got Simon is coming. I believe Tasia and Natalie's coming. That's Nick and Amir's boo. We're not sure what episodes these are going to be. Daniel, Preston's boo, is coming. And then Phil and Mariah go back. I'm sorry. And it is late and we done the damn thing. And I thank you people for actually stopping through. Especially Tamika, Harold, Shayna. Hey, y'all. Thank you so much. Anybody that comes through on, like I said, next week, we're going to definitely be Wednesday. We're going to try to move this time on up because it's a little bit too late. Your girl got to work tomorrow. It's going to be interesting. Anybody coming through on the replay, leave a comment, #replay. Let me know. You could also leave an emoji. It just all helps with your girl's engagement. All of that good YouTube stuff. Let me know what you thought about the episode. How you feeling about the season? I know it's only 2 episodes. How you feeling about the season thus far? How you feel about Phil and Mariah coming? Is there anybody else that you want to see? Well, actually, those are only 2 that were here last season. But just fill your girl in, if you will. What is this week looking like? This week is looking like, let me just put this up here. First, your girl has goals. Help me get to 1,000 by the end of the year. My short-term goal is 500 by June 1st. Excuse me, it's coming. excuse me. Tell a friend to tell a friend, share the video where you share your videos, subscribe, hit the like button, help your girl with her engagement, and all of those things. And before I do hit the road, Jack, and don't come back no more. Okay, well, maybe not exactly that, but oh, I gotta find a new one for this too. Before I do hit the road, so this is definitely on Wednesdays. I still have to make up Bold and Bougie to you guys. I'm just gonna probably do a live, and whoever watches. If they want to come through on the replay, come through on the replay, just so we can wrap things up with that. Saturday is Love and Marriage DC. The current episode right after, well, not right after, but right after the episode. Sunday will be a live for Giara in Detroit time Sunday evening. Keep your notifications on as always. I think I'm also going to be on a live on English channel, me and Shanna MCD going over the Ready to Love reunion. Haven't recapped it, definitely been watching. I appreciate you guys. Like I said, as always, leave those notifications on. I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.